Hey, hey, happy Wednesday. Let me get in here and go live on Instagram and on Facebook. So today we're going to be talking about what does it look like when you're running a business solo? So this is me. And so it's the end of April and we're starting the month of May. So I kind of want to talk through what I do towards the month end that has nothing to do with kind of like creating content, looking at my analytics and stuff like that. What do I do besides those things to make sure that I have a successful month? So I'm gonna just kind of share if that sounds interesting to you, girl. My mind is ragged because I don't need to be doing none of this. Okay, let me go live on Instagram. All right, so let's jump in. Today's topic is going to be if you're running a business solo. Y'all can see today is April the 30th. So we're going to be talking about I want to share with me ending this month and me starting next month. I've started unlocking some routines in my business that make things really, I don't want to say definitely not easy, but a little bit more simple. So when you end your month, besides looking at your analytics, your likes and stuff like that, what are some of the things that you want to start paying attention to? I know a lot of ladies are interested in the idea of like a back end, getting organized, emails and the CRM and stuff. So I kind of want to talk about that in your business, honey, because at the end of the month, let me slow down. At the end of the month, we'll be like, did I make money? Did I not make money? Did people like my content? Did they not like my content? And when those were the only two drivers for me, I didn't know how to keep my business sustainable. I would be so up and down because if my content hit really good and I didn't get sales, or my sales were up and my content was low, like it was just an emotional roller coaster for me. So I had to start thinking, like, what can I do to make this sustainable to where I'm making money for one, and then for two, where it's something that I can continue to carry week to week because I think that that's the big thing. So, happy Wednesday, child. Welcome in. We're going to be talking about running the business solo. Introduce yourself down in the comments. Are you a solopreneur like me? Y'all know I quit my job a couple of years ago, and it is just me running my business. I've had the virtual VA, the in person, blah, 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 all of that. And today it is just me. But with that, I have a monthly membership. I do 101. I have an email list of just a little under 3K. It's not too big. I have socials on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on TikTok. Like, so I kind of want to talk about how do I start a month and then how do I end a month, and if you're in a similar spot where you're juggling a lot of things like that, and you're like, man, the likes is not telling me nothing, and my sales are, I don't know, I don't feel in control of them. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, happy Wednesday, friend. Today is a really good off day for me. Whoop, whoop. So, after this show, I literally have nothing um, on my calendar besides something that I have planned for this evening already, which is personal. So, it's going to be good, child. So, that's why I just threw on a little t shirt, threw this braids up in a little bun. I'm going to do this live. Bay took off. So, we're going to have a cookie day together and kick it. So, okay, let's get into today's topic, running a business solo. Okay, so I think that in my experience in my business, right, I would get momentum. And so this happened to me last year and year before last, where I would get momentum in my business and I would get these really big sales or these really big clients. And I would lean into that so much that me getting other people that are waiting to work with me, that would go all on the back burner because I had this big influx, or I had this big client, or I had these couple of one-on-ones that I closed and I stopped selling. It sounds so crazy. But that gets me into my first point about this, which is even when we're like actively selling, right? So you get your big client, you get your big contract. You're like, okay, that invoice giving a little tea. Don't stop gathering other people who want to be next. So even if we're not actively selling, having a wait list and pipeline gives you so much leverage for later. You know what I mean? So let's say if you have your business and you like me, child, I get a couple of one-on-ones and the rest of y'all can kick rocks. I got my clients. I made my sales. Like, content. I ain't worried about no content, B. I'm making money. And then those clients, they dwindle on down, and I'll be like, okay, so y'all like me again, right? Don't y'all want to book me? And it's just like, friend, you're giving fake with your business, friend. Ivana says, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, girl. Happy Wednesday, Ivana. Today we're talking about being a solopreneur, right? When it's just you the marketing director, you the social media assistant, you the chief strategic everything up and down, you the tech person. Like, how do you end one month besides just posting content and looking at analytics or looking over your sales? It doesn't tell you the depth of really what's going on inside your business. So today I'm going to be talking about this concept of your business talks to you. Like, your business talks, and maybe it's time to listen. I was just sharing how in my business I would get a really big client or I get an influx, and I didn't understand the importance of saying, okay, well, if you're doing these clients, put out a wait list and promote that. That way you have a steady pipeline that's feeding. And what, you know what I'm saying? That was a big lesson learned for me. It really was. So now I don't care how many people join the Conquer Club. I'm taking care of y'all, and I got to think about who coming next behind y'all because I cannot stop. The momentum cannot stop. Ivana says, I thought about getting some help, but then I kind of don't want to do that because I hate managers and I don't want to be a manager. Girl, we're going to talk about that too. And y'all know we talked about this in the show. I don't know if it was last week or week before last about hiring help, child. Woo, child. I think that might have been last week. We were talking about them freelancers and contractors, child. Oh, Lord. But yeah, that was a big lesson that I had to learn. So that'll take me to my next point here, which is okay, in our business, like once you get to the end of the month, like today, what do you look back and say, okay, that was a good month, or friend, I wasn't feeling that month? Like, what does that look like? Is it just like the amount of money you made? Maybe so. Maybe you like, friend, I thought I was gonna do 8,000. I did 12. Like, or do you go back and look at the analytics, even though, I look and I'll be like, this tells me a whole bunch of nothing most of the time. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, can we be for real? Looking at my analytics, I'm up 2,000%. Yeah, but I mean, now what? So that's why I had to kind of get off that and say, okay, Deb, well, what are you actually paying attention to week? And this is something that I'm just like leaning into, but it's been a game changer for me for sure. So y'all know last week in the show, and hey to y'all watching on TikTok, I see y'all. Even when we did the show and we talked about this concept of making sure that we're adding business sense, right? We love our businesses. Y'all know I'm so passionate about Conquer. I got Conquer, baby. I got Conquer tattoo right here. I got Conquer Club shirt, Conquer Club blanket, Conquer Club. Like, I love my business. I get it. But that is it can be the biggest blessing that it is, and it also can sometimes not be so good. Because friend be in her feelings about Conquer Girl, and I was like, friend, you got to get out of that. Ivana says, I have no process. I need some help. Okay. So for those of you that are listening and you're like, okay, friend, I do need a little bit help. Ivana said, I'd be like, bills paid, great. Let's survive this next month. Hey, that's so real. That's so real. So I know y'all can't see this on TikTok, but on my in the comments, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link to this form that I created. So if you're listening to this and you're like, Deb, I want to start planning out my months too. Like, give me some ideas on what to look at besides like my likes or not besides just my sales so I can understand what's happening in my business. I've already created a free PDF for the month of May, friend. Okay. So you can download that. I got a PDF of it. I know y'all can't see it on TikTok, but I have, hey Trey, but I have it showing on screen here on the other platform. So I put the link in the chat. You should be able to go download it for free. You can start on it today. But of course, I'll walk through, you know what I'm saying, some of the stuff that I put in there, girl. I already know, hey, baby, me and my husband both have a business. So we be like, end of the month. Okay, this pay, lights on, water on. You good? You good? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, we need something that, y'all know I love saying the word sustainable. Like, I had to get out of this. I'm telling y'all, last year I literally landed myself back at work and now I'm up. Like, this emotional roller coaster is just too much for me. I'm like, bruh, how can I make this? Has to be week by week, month by month by month by month by month by month. I understand up and down, but I gotta be able to hit this certain mark every month or I'm through. So that's why I'm talking about this today. Okay. Because I started leaning into a little system, which is in that free PDF. And we talk about it in the Conquer Club. We're gonna talk about it in May. Okay. So this concept of adding in some business sense. Okay, so when we sit at the end of the month, I do want us to think of a couple of things, right? Number one, what worked? It's gonna sound a little cliche for you, but this was a game changer for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. So in my business, I see that when I post content, even the content that gets engagement doesn't necessarily lead to people wanting to work with me or book with me, right? But I do need the engagement and I need the visibility. So I'm not saying that it doesn't matter because it does. I just think it's just part or a piece of the puzzle, right? But what I learned is when I started reaching out to people, calendar started filling up like this. So at the end of my month, I had to ask myself, okay, Deb, now when it comes to that money, you made it, but how? Like what worked? And next month, I don't need you to rethink it. I don't need you to try to make it creative. I don't need you to try to go have no photo shoot for it, create no flyer for it. I just need you to either do 2x more of that or 10 times X more of that, and that's it. What's up, Rian? Good morning, girl. We got to reschedule our call. Like, because I remember sending, I went ham in the DMs one day, and I was just wow. I'm talking, my calendar was like bing, bing, and I'm just like, bruh, if you go spend time on a whole bunch of reels, you're doing busy work. And this is how we started talking on the show last month about this concept of us making sure that we understand what busy work looks like for each of us, and we understand what selling looks like for us, moving the needle for us. And so I told myself, if you go focus too much on content, the numbers are telling you, the business is talking to you and telling you where the money is. So if you go do that, you're doing busy work, friend. Just know that. So I might have to tell myself for real. Ivana says that's what I need to do. Actively reach out. Yeah, I feel you, girl. And so now the thing is, when I go back and look what works, so yes, we're business owners. Yes, we got to sit down and look at the business. We do. It's just part we can't skip, friend. Like what worked. And I need to either plan to do 2 times more of that, or if I'm a beast, 10 times more. I had to get real with myself by going live. I love going live. It gets received so well. I was like, bruh, you need to stop playing. Rion says, yes, the hard part is feeling like you're wasting time when you're really being productive towards your business. Yeah. That's why I have my list. What's up, Zara? Hey, girl, from New York. From New. What's up, girl? Hey, y'all. Y'all. I have 3 people watching on TikTok. Friend that made it. Okay, don't play with me. It only took me being consistent 5 weeks. Zara says missed y'all last night. Oh, it's okay. We'll be back next Tuesday night. I was gonna shout y'all out anyway. Cause y'all did y'all thing last night. Y'all truly did. What's up, Crystal? She says, good afternoon. Hey, friend. I'm so excited about today. As soon as I get done with this show, I'm going to the gym and I'm not doing nothing for Conquer. So Conquer gonna have to take some backseat. Okay, so we're talking about our topic today, which is when you're a business owner, you're solo, it's just you. You ain't got all these VAs and you trying to pay your bills. You had a love and you got real bills, but you love your business. You care about your business. You invest in your business. You sacrifice for your business. But like I said, last week in the show, we talked about understanding what does busy work look like for you, friend. And like that's gonna be different for each of us. I know me when I start going to tweak graphics, I'm doing busy work. I already know. But that's me and my business. But I know if I'm doing DMs, am I doing lives? Am I trying to like I know what's moving the needle. And I gotta understand that I have to do more of that. That busy work doesn't serve anything but my ego and make me feel productive. Okay. So getting to the month end of your business, if you're just joining, we talked about a couple of things, which is I know for me, I would get a big client or I'd get a nice amount of one-on-ones and then I stop selling or stop building a pipeline or, then create a wait list. I stopped the momentum. So now I'm understanding that even if I'm not like actively selling, the most important thing that I can still do is make sure that I'm having some type of wait list or pipeline of people so that I have do want to sell. I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'm back in business. Let me start posting online. Let me go to this wait list. You ready? You're up next. Okay. So digesting that concept was really good to me. Get really good for me. And you tell me what you think. I want to know what y'all think, especially on TikTok too. I want to know what y'all think. And then we talked about adding in some business sense. So at the end of the month, we plan content, we looked at likes, we looked at analytics, which for me, I mean, I look at my analytics, but it doesn't really it doesn't it's not a part of how I measure success. I'll say that. But what I do look at the end of the month is I'm like, okay, what worked? Like I know for me, outreach works. Like I can post every day and it's a shot in the dark. But I know if I reach out to this amount gonna respond, this amount gonna book a call, this amount gonna show up for the call, this amount gonna convert, this amount gonna go on the wait list for later. That's something repeatable that I can look at every single month that has nothing to do with anything that feeds my ego. My business is talking to me. It's saying when you do this thing, this happens. Now you do all your other stuff, but just know this thing right here works. Some of us know showing up works. A lot of us, 99, 100% of us watching this know that showing up works. Visibility works. Something like this, it works. Reaching out to people, it works. Following up with people, it works. I just think that when you're going on that journey, right, which is why I love, love, love the mantra of Conquer, the mission of Conquer. I just think that when you're going on that journey, there is a hallway between your idea and the validation of it from the people. And that hallway will trick you into thinking, okay, well, maybe I need to go back and like, it's like, no, like, see what's working, see what you need to tweak and fix, and just keep on going. Like for real, it's gritty, nasty, lonely, deep work. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, once you get through there, okay. Okay, I feel like I'm all over the place. Okay, so let me reset a little bit. End of the month. Let's look at for the month of April. What worked for you, right? So, did you get any clients? Like, did you get any sales? Did you get 2 sales, 20 sales, 200 sales, 2,000 sales? Who did you get? Like, who did you land? And then think about how you landed them. How you landed them. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they had sales, but the sales that they had came from referrals only. And so I said, I'm not mad at that, but you don't have control over their ability to refer people to you. So what did you get on your own? And if we don't have a way to get people on our own, then that's where we start. Right? That's where we start and we understand how to do more of that. How to do more of that. And we talked about this on the show too, y'all, about this concept of testing. Testing in your business. When I did the guest coach inside Operation Hope last week, and someone asked about having somebody join their team to do their social media. And I was like, that's really a great idea. Do you have the ability to delegate it and outsource it? They said, yeah. I said, I want you to understand that in your business, if you can't tell, like, my people respond to this, like, if you don't know what works, I don't understand how somebody can come in and do it for you. You see what I'm saying? Because in business, the first months, years, or whatever, like, it's testing. Like, it's test. You test to see what people respond to. So if you send out 20 DMs and nobody responds, it doesn't mean you're a failure and you need to go back and go crawl in a corner. It means, okay, well, maybe I need to do a different approach and then try 20 more people. Okay, 2 people responded. Okay, cool. Now let me see. Okay, well, let me tweak it a little bit more. Seem like they responded to this part. Okay, now 4 people responded. Okay, cool. Like, it's a journey of understanding how to test, refine, implement, repeat. It's not a matter of, oh, I put it out there and they ain't like it and I'm stupid, but this is a good product and yelling at them. Well, y'all must don't want to invest in y'all business, but y'all buying seafood boys. Like, girl, go cry in the corner with the lady. Go call the lady because be for real. You need to go call the lady. Ugh. Like, it's given, ugh. That makes it so much worse. Ivana said that's my issue. Because I've been waiting on people to reach out, and that's what sustained me. It hindered me to a point where I don't have control. Yeah, I feel it, girl. I've been there. I already know. Telling you, that's how I ended right back in them folks' job. Like, okay, well, we're supposed to fill my thinking that because the product or service or the mission and my passion and visibility was so good that the people must be crazy to not be signing up for this. That's giving people complete control of your business. I had to conquer that for real. I have the control, which is why I said I'm finna get my butt up on live every day. I have complete control over visibility, on reaching out to people, pulling them in, saying, hey, this is amazing. Come look at me, baby. For real. Ivana says, I got the lady on speed now. Okay, baby. I ain't mad at you. I need to call the lady. I am in my feelings about this business too much, girl. I need to call the lady. She said, sounds like me. That's crazy. Girl, baby, I've been there. I already know. I had to get myself together, Ivana. I really did. I had to get myself together. So now y'all know I also talk about this, and we talk about this inside the Conquer Club a lot. It's so good. Okay. So if you listen to this and you're like, okay, yeah, whatever. You're doing all the preaching and teaching and fussing and stuff, but what do I do? Okay, so let's start planning our next month ASAP. So for the month of May, I know I always set a sales goal. I always say that. And I know a few people do, a few people don't. That's your prerogative. But I set a sales goal, right? It just gives me something to aim for. Because if I set nothing, I just take what I can get. If I say, well, I don't have no sales goal, if people see me, they gonna shop, whatever. Then you get in a season of taking what you can get, which means you lose control. Okay. You feel good when a lot of people see you, but when they don't, you have nothing to lean into. Okay. There's too much control being given over to the people for me. Okay. So I'm saying coming up this month, what do I want to put out and what do I want to get in? Because sometimes when we plan our goals, we only talk about what we want to get in. We got to talk about what we want to put out also. And content is a no brainer. Like that shouldn't even be a discussion. It's April 30th, 2025. That's a no brainer. Putting out content, no brainer. If you're not doing content, start there. Like no brainer. Okay. So what do I want to put out and what do I want to get in? I know. Okay. So for me and my business, I'm like for the month of May, I've got a certain goal that I want to have for Conquer Club. Right. So my thing is, let's say if I want to get 10 new ladies, my plan can't just be to post about the Conquer Club every day. Why? I have no control over that. You on your social media break. She perfect for Conquer Club, but her and her dude into it, so she ain't scrolling today. I mean, you are like, I have no control over that. So I want 10 new members for Conquer Club. I'm going to post about it every day. And I'm going to host 2 workshops and try to get 30 girls each. And I'm going to DM 100 girls. What am I going to put out for what I want to get in? Okay. We've talked about this many, many, many times before about making business a numbers game. She said, I love you. I love you too, Sierra. Baby, Sierra has been there for me with Conquer through thick and thin. She came and did my makeup in my house one day for my birthday, and I fell in love with this girl. And I was like, do you want a job? Can you just be stuck with me for life? And I remember, girl, y'all know during the pandemic, a bit was balling. Okay. I went to go speak in Atlanta. I was like, Sierra, I want you to come with me. And girl, I was out there just being reckless. Just outside. Okay. Baby, them PPP loans was moving and I was too. Okay. I wish I would have got one. They talking about they thought my business was fraudulent. Girl, please. She said, my favorite, the one who inspired me. Girl, I love you down, friend. I really do. So I hope that this is, and this is me talking through my month out loud too. But this is what I've been on lately. So what do I want to get in? But what do I want to put out? So for those of you like me, where we have to pitch our business, social media ain't doing it. Okay. So there's a bucket of us where social media truly does it for you, where when you put content out, people respond. And that's a fantastic place to be with your audience because that's the goal. That's truly the goal. But if you're on your way there, there's nothing to be ashamed about. And those numbers aren't doing anything but saying, hey, we got to add something else to this until we get there. And the good thing is too, so like even with me going live, I get to talk to my audience every day. If you do content, if you're reaching out and you're DMing people and you're pitching people, it may feel a little scary, but it gives you such good real-time feedback. So you actually can start creating stuff that they respond to without you having to work it so manually. You get what I'm saying? And that's a really powerful place to be in business as a business owner. But I think that part has been really uncomfortable for me at certain times. Truly has been. But I know that I got to lean into it. Yeah. So we gotta conquer May, girl. We gotta eat down. Okay. So May inside the Conquer Club, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to completely give the ladies in the Conquer Club a transparent tour of my back end. Okay. How do I keep up with the email marketing, the Conquer Club? I do one-on-ones, the podcast, the daily show, socials across this platform. How do I keep all of that together and I do it in one system? I got one for a different one for email marketing, but I keep track of everything inside of one system, which is Monday.com. And last year I applied for a partnership. And this year they certified Conquer as a certified partner for Monday.com, which is a huge and one of the number one online tools for entrepreneurs who are especially solo like me, where we need to get organized. Um, we need to keep things in one place. They have a very, very, very user friendly, simple system. Like there is no big learning curve. You know, how you try to do like ClickFunnels or Go High Level or something, and it's just so dynamic. Monday.com isn't like that. It's built for somebody that's truly working by themselves. And I've used it for years. I really wanted that partnership. I took my test and I got it. So I'm a certified partner. So now I'm going to give the ladies a transparent tour of it with my certified Monday.com badge so that y'all can see. Because y'all know this summer we are outside networking. She said, how do we set it up? I need to be in Conquer Club ASAP. Yes, girl. I have the link to Conquer Club, Sierra. Just go on there and put your application on there. I mean, I know you, friend, so but just go on there and put your application on there so that we can follow up with you. You can go to jointheconquerclub.com. And then what you'll do is you can get the access to the first kickoff call, which is next Tuesday, and then access to all of the resources and PDFs that I created for the ladies that are going to go along with that transparent tour also. So it's really just me saying, hey ladies, I'm doing it. I run my business full time. I do all of this stuff. So I'm just giving you a really transparent look of what it looks like behind the scenes. Like my numbers update in real time. Somebody books an appointment. I know who's scheduled. I know who didn't show up. I know who needs to be rescheduled. I know who wasn't a good fit. I know who converted this month, last month, how much we made last week, how many consults we had 2 weeks ago, how many people no showed 3 weeks ago. Like it's really dynamic and it's made in Monday.com, which is made for people like me who work solo. And I'm going to show the ladies a very transparent tour of that starting next Tuesday. And I figure it's probably going to carry over until the next Tuesday too, because I have a lot of handouts and I don't want to rush it in case anybody wants to duplicate it for themselves in the free version of Monday.com. So it's going to be dope, girl. Check out the Conquer Club.
Me, the Conquer Club is a sisterhood. I didn't know a lot of these ladies. I have truly made connections, real friendships, bonds. I've cried with these ladies. It elevated my business so much, just putting a foot on the gas and stomping on necks, like literally. I'm really proud to be a part of this space, and I think this is what entrepreneurs need.
Well, I told y'all that I blocked my calendar off. My man is off. Okay. So I'm about to honor my day. Y'all, I hope that y'all have really enjoyed today's show. If you're anything like me, you're out here grinding. You love what you do, but you understand that there is some structure that you have to give yourself because sometimes we lean into the emotional roller coaster of this a little bit too much. And I say that as a way to free us. I used to run away from those numbers. I did. I wouldn't look at them until the end of the month. Sometimes not even that, but I was embarrassed when they were low. But now I feel empowered by them, girl. I'm like, look, child. And even when I do my Monday.com, my sales update, year to date, month to date, week to date, and day to day, every single day. I've got the little automation thing set up, and it's so easy to set up, like so easy. So, okay, we'll be back on the show tomorrow. Make sure if you listening to this and you really like the show, make sure you tap the screen. Make sure you follow along. The show is on YouTube. All of the past episodes of the show on YouTube. We're also streaming on Facebook, on Instagram, and we got TikTok on my cell phone here up in the corner. So I will be here every weekday, Monday through Friday. My goal as you're conquering the day, you have this as a home base, right? To come talk about entrepreneur topics. We meet every Tuesday night inside the Conquer Club. That's where if you really want to come into the community, you really want to network, you really want to learn, you really want to grow, you really want to post, and you really want to get organized, you do it inside the Conquer Club, okay? We're looking for members. Join theconquerclub.com. Put in your application, and me and you will just talk about what's inside the Conquer Club and what could be possible for you once you connect with us. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow for the show. I love y'all so much. Y'all